Yes, people, I am honored and I am blessed once again to introduce this great artist. He's going to be joining me live and direct right here on the Big Bad Station, araratradio.com, with yours truly, DJ Kat, the Kat-a-lyst. So you know what, special guest, you introduce yourself, let them know who you are.
Bless up, DJ Kat. You don't know, this is Jubba White. Yeah.
Jeez.
Drummer, recording artist, singer, producer, songwriter, musician. And once you're a musician, you don't know, you just do music. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Anytime. And you know what? I feel like you took every title. So tell us about these titles, because you spoke about being a musician, songwriter, producer, and the list keeps going and going. But what comes to mind when people think of you? What should come to mind straight away?
Drummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about that beautiful skill.
You know what? I should just say musician, because musician covers all the above, and I am a musician.
That's true. But
I always say drummer because that's the instrument that's like an extension of me, and it's what I started with. It's what most people in the industry connect me to.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a drummer.
Nice. But for all the drummer fans out there, what kind of drums do you play?
I play the traps.
Okay.
But percussions in general, because when you're a drummer, you tend to you're able to play like the congos, and djembe and certain other percussive instruments.
Yeah.
And I was also trained on those other percussive instruments, but I'm a trap drummer, the drum set.
Okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that you need a good drummer for any live set, right?
Most definitely.
So, I mean, for yourself now, I know you've toured, you've done so many great things, but what was that first time like when you stepped on stage and you thought, wow, I'm going to be doing the rhythm section. If I mess up, it's over.
You know what? I don't know if it ever came to me like that.
Okay.
I think as a young musician, with goals and dreams and high, aspirations, you tend to, in most cases, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
You tend to come with so much confidence.
Yeah.
If you look at these kids nowadays, doing what they do, in most cases, you don't see them being shy. The higher percentage of them are not shy about what they do. They do it with confidence. And I guess because I started quite early and I loved what I did and was doing, that is what came with it. So there was honestly never a moment that I felt like needed to be nervous.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. What it always was to do my best.
Okay.
Right? And so that has always been my focus.
I hear that.
Never allowing the situation of nerves to be what controlled my whatever. But yeah, my first time on a big stage.
Yeah.
Right. My first time on a big stage, I wasn't playing for a big artist, but we were among big artists.
Okay.
And this was in 1991. We were playing together as a high school band.
Yeah.
And it was like their annual thing where they had like beauty pageants, contests, and just a big school event, right?
Okay.
And the artists, the main artists that were built for that show was Freddie McGregor,
Jeez.
Home T4 band,
Yeah.
and Cocoa Tea. We were not backing those artists, but we as the school band, the high school band at the time,
Yeah.
we opened for them.
Nice.
So we were pretty much, playing our music to the same audience that they would be, and so that was more like, yes, we're happy to do this, we're looking forward to this, and it's going to be such a great time to be able to see, these, legends and seasoned artists do their thing, and we're honored to be able to do it in front of them. So that was my very first experience.
And I've got to ask, did Cocoa Tea, Freddie McGregor, did they come up to you? Were they impressed by yours? What was the feel?
Well, we didn't get a chance to really talk to them.
Okay.
It was just we did our thing, and we were able to full joy them doing their thing, and that is what it was, know. But if we're gonna talk about a situation now where where I was actually part of a backing band for one of these legendary artists that that first time, the experience, and all of that, it would be 1997.
Wow.
1997, Mighty Diamonds, the Ethiopians, Winston James Jarrett.
Yeah.
And this was my very, very first tour.
I hear that.
First time traveling.
Okay.
And also it was my first time on a tour, and this was in Europe, Barcelona to be precise.
Okay.
My first experience playing, with these artists was in rehearsal in Jamaica, and I can remember that we were well prepared because we rehearsed, ahead of time. And so as four youngsters, knowing how important it was going to be to have, this situation, we were well prepared, and when they came to rehearsal, they were, I won't say amazed, they were pleased.
Nice.
And because if they weren't, we wouldn't have been able to do that tour.
I hear that.
And so that was, I'd say, the very first experience of having, that situation where you could call, okay, a pass or a fail.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't about nerves, it was about, we went with confidence because music was what we loved. Music is what I love.
Yeah.
And when you love something and you're passionate about it, you just do your best at it. And you go in knowing that only your best is going to be good enough.
Yeah. I hear that. 100%. And Marcus Garvey says it, without confidence, you're twice defeated, right?
Exactly. For those who have gone through struggles, I think we all have to some degree, some more than others.
Yeah.
But I think for people who faced true challenges and hardships, and have been able to overcome them.
Yeah.
We've seen something totally different. We've seen, major character, let me not say changes, but enhancements.
Yeah.
We've seen, even more so, confidence building.
Mm-hmm.
That would not necessarily happen without, certain challenges, which are considered struggles. So the importance of struggles, in life is to be able to become overcomers and to be able to have growth, on a level beyond the ordinary.
The reason why I asked you that, King, is because this beautiful, in particular Jamaica, has so much talent.
Yeah.
there is a lot of struggles that happen there, but
Oh, yeah.
the talent and the love is unreal. And I wondered if that struggle adds to that talent, if that makes sense.
Yes, of course it does. Because you know what happens with struggles and challenges, it pushes you to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, it pushes you to be really creative because the more comfortable you are, the more cushioned you are. We're not gonna say the softer you'll be, but to some degree, you know, that's a fact.
Yeah.
You know, but when you are someone that, you know, have faced or is facing challenges, everyone wants to survive.
Yeah.
And we know this phrase, the fittest of the fit shall survive, right? Everyone wants to survive, right? So if you're having challenges and you want to survive, it's incumbent on you to be creative enough, you know, to find ways, you know, out of these challenging situations, or not to say find ways out of these challenging situations, but to rise above the challenges.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, when it comes to, you know, as you'd say, like Jamaica as an island and like many other places, you know, like we're blessed with creativity.
Yeah.
You know, and music being one of those, you know, since that's my area of expertise. You know, we see the amount of talents, you know, that's there. And, you know, we see how, you know, the challenges and the hurdles,
Yeah.
You know, that many have to go through, you know, where we're coming from. And, you know, sometimes when you look at the journey, you know, and from whence, you know, someone came, you know, to where they're at, sometimes it's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because then you look at someone else with, you know, like more than adequate amount of resource that could, you know, could do that and much more, you know, not being capable of doing such, you know. So yeah, challenges and struggles builds you, you know. And it's not to say that people who don't have the struggles and the challenges should go seek them out, you know, because it's not always it's never a beautiful place.
Yeah.
You know, when you overcome them, it's beautiful. The story is beautiful, you know. But you know, I mean, like, it's like that. Yeah. Challenges build you.
Yeah. And you know, because when you hear, such as yourself as an artist, when I hear your voice and I hear some of the tunes that you're putting out, I can hear the struggle, and to me it feels authentic to the music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And even those before us that have sadly gone in the flesh, like, you know, Bob and so forth, and the foundation artists, they've gone through the struggle, but they've come out of that struggle, but at the same time they needed the struggle. You know, it's a mind whirl.
Exactly. Yeah. No doubt. And you know, I'd say, like, you know, like, thanks for actually acknowledging that, you know. And I wasn't aware as much that, you know, it resonates, you know, in that way, because, you know, for me, I'm just true to what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I love what I do, but I'm just true to it, you know. So I never know how it is received. You know, I get responses, you know, from people, you know, all the time that, you know, but then, you know, we're dealing with a lot of people, and so, you know, while it will resonate with some, it might not resonate with others. It might not be felt the same way, you know. But when I hear that, you know, I truly appreciate, you know, you know, mentioning that, because it's coming from a true place. And that confirms to me that without trying to do something, just being myself, the message, you know, translates and transcends, you know, because it's the real world, you know, and we've seen the struggles, we feel the struggles, and we also feel other people's pain.
Yes.
And it's for us as creatives, you know, to be able to echo that.
Yeah.
You know, to, you know, not just for ourselves, but for, you know, for those, you know, that, you know, share similar or, you know, other, you know, experiences that are not able, you know, to echo it themselves.
I hear that. And I think it's really important when we do talk to artists such as yourself that we understand the journey you've gone on, because we see the fame, we see the limelight, we see all the excitement, but we don't see behind the scenes. And that's why I always try my hardest to ask an artist, what have you gone through to get to where you are now? Because I know it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
It's not. You know, it's not. And the journey of life itself,
yeah.
You know, it's you know, it's like the journey was not necessarily meant to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's tougher, as I said before, it's tougher for some than it is for others, for whatever reason. You know, maybe because of, you know, geographic differences, you know, like cultural differences, whatever it may be, class issues, you know, or class differences, you know, whatever it may be. But, you know, we all face some amount of challenges. And, you know, as I said, like, it's those things,
yeah,
you know, that makes us grow. And for me, life is a journey. You know, I've said it in songs.
Yeah.
And, you know, on a journey, you know, a journey means you're moving, you know, you're traveling. And when you're on a journey, you know, in my opinion, you know, you want to see and you want to feel growth.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it might not, you know, for some people it might not correlate, but on a journey, if you're traveling, you're going somewhere. You know, you have to have a destination in mind. And so if you have a destination in mind and you're on a journey, it means, you know, every moment, you know, in time, you're moving closer to your destination, whatever that may be, you know, wherever that may be. Yeah. You know, even if you're not able to calculate. So, but it's growth.
Yeah.
You know, it's moving upward, it's moving forward, right? So the way I see life, you know, with all its challenges, is that it's a journey. And the purpose of a journey is moving forward. And moving forward means growth.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, I mean, I embrace the challenges.
Okay.
Because they build mental as well as physical and spiritual muscle, you know.
I hear that 100%. And, you know, it's important as well for up and coming artists to hear that there will be struggles, because, you know, I mean, it looks, like I said, looks like you can just go in your front room, build a tune, and fame will come. But that's not necessarily the case.
No,
so,
no.
You know.
No, and even if there's, you know, the kind of proposal that supposedly would make it seem that would be the case. Oh, there are gonna be some challenges there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that.
So whichever way you take it, there are gonna be challenges. So you choose your challenge.
So you know what, King? I know you've been working on so many different works, but you tell the listeners what you've been working on, what's recently come out from yours, and how they can go and check that out as well.
Yeah. Well, music is a daily thing. You know, music is life.
Yeah.
Is how I'd say it. And so since life is for living, and that's what we're doing every single day, music is a part of my daily life. So The most recent song that was released is a song called Mama. It wasn't released by me, but I produced it.
Okay.
And I sang on it. A lady by the name of Jana Dreher,
Yeah.
which is also a promoter of a festival in Minneapolis, a reggae festival.
Nice.
She wrote a few songs, since last year. She wrote some songs and she was like, "Oh, Jubba, I'm hearing you on these songs. If you like any of them, whatever." I didn't get a chance to, start working on any of those songs because I had a lot of other, works,
Yeah.
in the works, prior. But about 2 weeks before Mother's Day, she was like, "I have a new one and I feel like you should get this one down and, have it, for Mother's Day." And when I listened to her lyrics that she wrote, it really, really resonated with me in a way that, made me like drop everything else I was doing and move towards working on that song. The reason for that is my mother is no longer with me here in flesh. Right? She passed in 2015. But my experience in my relationship with my mother, my parents in general, but I talk about my mom a lot, and I feel like I want to make sure I insert that my father still is a great daddy, right?
Yeah.
But since we're talking about this song, I had a mother that when I think about where I'm at, even with the music, I realized that very early she was one of my main influences, right?
Yeah.
She was one of my main inspirations, and not only that, the person she was in our community as an individual. Like, she was one of the most selfless individuals I've ever met. And I know this sounds very cliche because this is how people usually talk about people that they care about that have passed, but like, honestly, on a whole different level, my mom was the kind of person that things I still do today, that my immediate family adopts are things that was inspired by her. For example, my kids grow out their clothes, right?
Yeah.
And they have come to the realization since very young that once that happens, even if it's not something that they've grown up with, if it's something that they don't like anymore, it doesn't matter how valuable it is to them. If it's not something that they appreciate as much anymore, they are going to package that properly and they're going to make it available for donations, right? Because this is something that used to happen with my mom. Like, people from the, people would just, she would make herself available.
Yeah.
She would cook. If people were sick, in the community, she was one of the persons that would prepare meals, and she would walk and visit them and make sure that they were fed. If a youngster or a senior person, was out of shoes or clothes or, whatever the situation might be, she would be the person that she would take from her own back, to present, to people. And so when I came of age, even before, my sons were born, like, my mom would just hit us up, on a regular basis, to remind me that, remember, if you have stuff that is not suitable for you anymore, just package them, let me know. I know the people that needs, and that's how it was. When my youths were born, same thing. They're growing out clothes, things were packaged, and we would bring them to her, and she would know to package stuff and who needed stuff and whatever. And that was the kind of person she was. And people of various age groups she was able to connect with, on a level. People love talking to her, and so, this song by Jana, that she wrote, and for me to sing, when I heard the lyrics to the song, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because it said so much about the characteristics of the mother I had.
Wow.
And I dropped everything else that I was doing. That song is called Mama, and it's available on all the major digital platforms. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on one of my upcoming, full-length albums, too. But that's the most current. But June 28th, there's a new one coming. That's a solo, right?
Yeah.
And it's called Thanks and Praises. See?
Yeah.
So this will be distributed by Tough Gang International. Tough Gang International distributes most of my, current music. And this is just me giving thanks.
Yeah.
Because I love to give thanks. So the song is called Thanks and Praises. It will be released June 28th. My label is White Stone Productions, and it will be distributed by Tough Gang International. So I'm telling you, you'll be getting that soon.
Nice.
And for everyone listening, stay tuned, because I feel like you'll vibe to this one. You'll hear a little bit of the toots and the meters vibration, because originally when I started writing this song, it was written with toots in mind.
Okay.
Right? And 2019, when he was on his US tour, we were supposed to meet for him to hear the hook, and we were supposed to discuss doing a collaboration. Toots is one of those legends that was close enough to me as well, both through family, and through close friends.
Yeah.
And we've toured together. I've also recorded, Dub Tony Crew have opened, for him on a tour.
Yeah.
And I've also recorded with him, and we've had a good rapport.
Yeah.
And so this song, Thanks and Praises, originally when I started writing it, it was so as to have him as a guest artist. It was my fault that I did not get to meet him in Florida in 2019 on that tour. And it was not very long after that, that he had passed. My schedule had gotten tied up. If that didn't happen, it would have been a very, very high possibility that he would have been at this song. But Jah knows everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Thanks and Praises, June 28th. See? We gotta give thanks and praises, so you don't know.
Definitely. We have a listener asking, has your dad heard the Mama track?
He hasn't heard it yet.
Okay.
That's bad on my part. You know what? As soon as I get off this interview now, I actually will send it so he can hear it.
Nice.
We talk every day at least twice a day, Like, he's 89 years old and he's still one of my best friends.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So we talk twice a day. So now that you mention, I'll make sure, I'll make sure to let him hear it, because I know it will make him smile.
I love that. And make sure you big him up from me too.
Will do. Yeah, that will put a big smile on his face.
Yeah, I love that. But you know what? What would be your message to the listeners and the people out there? Because a lot of people are going through different struggles, as we spoke of earlier, and some people can't necessarily handle that struggle. And what would you say to keep them going, keep them uplifted?
And it's, there are 2 4-letter words. One is spelled LOVE, and the other one starts with H, and I won't spell it out.
Yeah.
I think in most cases, when one wants to feel uplifted, 1 or 2 of the first things that one can actually do is think of the love that exists for you as an individual. So if you're a parent, right?
Yeah.
And you're a good parent, you know, think about the love that your child has for you. You don't need to come out of that zone until it uplifts your spirit.
Yeah.
Right? And for whatever reason, if you can't find that, or if you are not a parent, you know, I'm sure you can find someone. You can think of your parent, because if no one else loves, I can tell you that in most cases a parent will. So put your mind in that space.
Yeah.
And if you can't find that, think about something or someone that you love. Think about that feeling. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that would, you know, basically trigger a different kind of emotion. Right? Because love is above all things. And love gives the best emotions that you can ever think of. You know what I mean? And so I feel like if you want to overcome a challenge, let that be the first approach. I'm not saying that should be the only, but that should be a starting point. Right? Because that would motivate you to move on to other things, you know, that would, you know, create a domino effect until you feeling more uplifted. But we're living in a time, you know, where, you know, so much is happening around us. You know, just so much, so many challenges, and you know, challenges have been there since the beginning of time, and they'll always be there. So we should never even try to think that we'll never face challenges. Our goal should always be to overcome those challenges. And we are most ready to overcome those challenges when love is in the midst. You know what I mean? Yeah, because love makes, you know, a lot of things much easier.
I hear that 100%. You're getting a lot of fire coming through. People are sending love hearts back to you as well.
Yeah man.
So what would you like to sing for the people out there? I haven't asked you yet, but I know you like to sing. So so what would you like to sing for the people?
You see, since we're talking about challenges and overcoming challenges, we talk about love, but we want to get in a lively groove so as to get above those challenges. There's a song, and it's the number one track. It's the track number one on my album that was released in 2021. The album is called My Random Thoughts, and track number one is called Lively Groove. Seeing? Traveling down the road with a heavy load, still we never get weary yet. Traveling up the road, that's where the heavy load, liberation hand in hand. Yay. In this life, challenges can be many, and sometimes your feet get weary, but pick it up, saddle up and move. Get yourself in a lively groove, and nobody get weary now. Yeah, you don't know, lively groove. Nobody get weary. Overcome the challenges. See?
Every time.
Yep.
People are loving that still. They're like, where can we find your album?
Yeah. My Random Thoughts is available on all the major digital platforms. So if it's Apple, if it's Spotify, wherever you listen to your music, YouTube, and most of my songs, I've made videos for them. So if you go to my page, my channel, my YouTube channel, you'll find most of those songs. And my website, jubbawhite.com, JUBBAWHITE.com. You go there, and it will lead you to all the platforms that I'm at. I'm definitely would love to hear from the people that the music is resonating with. And this is one thing I'll always say, as a reminder, that I'm open to constructive criticisms, because I feel like growth can't come without those. People listening to my music are whatever that is connected to me, that you feel like you have an advice, or you have a mind you, I said constructive criticism, not just wanting to criticize for being able to criticize sake, but constructively, so that it can add to one's growth. I don't mind those.
I hear that.
So feel free, to hit me up, social media, website, you like that song, there's something you feel like that would work well for Jubba White and his team, point it out. If there are ways that you would want to support, and you're not sure if, please feel free. Send an email, drop a comment, whatever, and constructive criticisms are welcome. Bottom line.
I love that.
Yeah.
For real, I hear that. And of course, before we go, any final thoughts you want to send to the people out there before we do go?
Love above all things. Togetherness. There's a lot going on that doesn't really sit well with a lot of us, because it's not bringing us together. It's tearing us apart more than it's bringing us together. And so, love is always gonna be, my theme. Mostly, So, to you, I give love, and I hope from you I'll receive love, and go ahead, vibe with the music, sing, and share the music if you dig the music. And Jubba White is here. It's all love, one love.
For real. And you know what, King? I want to say thank you to you again for putting out great music, because we need it. We need positive, uplifting music. So give thanks to you for putting that forward and taking the time to do it.
Yeah, man. It's all love, man. We're here.
I hear that.
We're here. And I appreciate love. I appreciate love that.
Anytime.
See, thank you very much, DJ Kat.
Anytime. You're always welcome, King.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Speak soon, yeah? Yes, people, please do go and support Jubba White. He's got a great energy, great vibes every time. Go and show him some love. Go and check out his new album, but go and check out his album, his new tracks, his new style, everything. Pure vibes. Check it out.